Okay, so let me guess. Since you're watching this video, you've probably heard of Shogun Method. You might have even started reading about its philosophy and applying its strategies. And that's great, because we need more men who understand the female mind in love and dating. That said, here's a fair bit of warning. Unless you're already part of the Shogun Method community, you'll reach a plateau at some point. You'll make some progress and you'll see some results. And yet, before long, you'll hit a wall and you can't go further. And guess what? That's natural, because your approach is random. You're not following a system. The same thing happens with everything else you do in a scattershot way. So, consider that a spoiler alert. In today's video, to keep you on the right path, we'll talk about a hidden secret of Shogun Method. It's a technique we Shoguns know as Chrono-Fractionation, and it's a technique anyone, even non-Shoguns, can use to become more successful with the ladies. Here's how it works. By now, you most likely have heard of fractionation. You probably already know how it makes women feel addicted to you. Fractionation lies in the core of Shogun Method, and it's probably the most powerful mind control technique in existence. That also makes fractionation one of the most challenging tactics to master. As Derek Rake once said, it's like trying to get a black belt in karate in a month. Luckily for us, there is a light version of fractionation that's easier to get into. In Shogun Method, there are 4 stages to master: intrigue, rapport, attraction, and enslavement. We call this the IRA model. This light version of fractionation is useful in the rapport and attraction stages. These are places where new shoguns usually struggle. So what's this version of fractionation? Well, it's called Chrono-Fractionation. It's the hidden secret of Shogun Method, and it's what you'll learn in today's video. So, what's Chrono-Fractionation all about? Well, it's best to explain it by comparing it to its parent technique. With the fractionation technique, you roller coaster a woman between emotional highs and lows. This emotional roller coaster is what pulls the addiction triggers in her brain. Meanwhile, with Chrono-Fractionation, it's quite different. You roller coaster her between chrono modes. Now, let me explain what those are. There are 3 kinds of chrono modes: past, present, and future. Each person, you, me, and all the women you meet, has a preferred chrono mode, and this preference is subconscious. She isn't even aware about it. And here's how it's useful. When you communicate with a woman in her preferred chrono mode, she'll feel a stronger bond with you. The amazing thing is she won't even notice it. There's just something about you that she likes. And suddenly, the road to becoming more than friends with her gets so much easier. That's the power of Chrono-Fractionation, and it's precisely why it's great in the early stages of attraction. So, how exactly does it work? The first step is to detect what a woman's preferred chrono mode is. And to do that, you must listen carefully to the words she uses when she talks about herself. For instance, if she says things like, "I've been there," or "those were the days," then she's using the past mode. Meanwhile, if she says, "I live in the moment," or "you only live once," then she likes the present mode. And lastly, if she says, "we'll see," or "I wonder what happens if," then she uses the future mode. When you know her preferred chrono mode, then roller coastering is the next step. You bounce between her preferred mode and the other 2. Here's how you do that. Let's say she tells you something about her life. She says, "My family always had time and money to volunteer. Now, everything I do is about work and paying off my student loans. I miss the good old days." First, you'll notice quite easily she prefers the past mode. So you'll know that you'll need to bounce her between that and the present mode, the future mode, or both. Now, let's say she's someone you see as a lifelong potential partner. As in, she's so awesome that you wouldn't mind spending the rest of your life with her. What do you talk to her about then? You'll certainly want to stick to themes like security, peace of mind, and lifelong joy. So here's an example of how you could chrono-fractionate her. You start with the past mode, which she prefers, and say, "I see. You want to go back to simpler, happier times. I can relate. I feel the same way sometimes." Then, you roller coaster to the present mode by saying, "But you know what I've realized? Life's pretty short. And to me, I realize that when I want things to go back to the way they were, I miss out on life as it happens. So I know it's none of my business, but if you're feeling miserable, maybe it's because you're wishing for something you can't have anymore." Then, you go back to her preferred past mode by saying something like, "I mean, yes, looking back means you know what you're missing, and that's important too." Then, you roller coaster to the present mode again. So if I were asked, I'd start finding ways to bring that past into the present, you know? I'd start making changes and pursuing goals to bring back those good feelings again. That's it. Do you now see how chrono-fractionation works? You bounce her frame of mind from her preferred chrono mode into the others, over and over. It may seem harmless, but you'll know it's working when she becomes warmer and more open with you. And you know you hit the jackpot when she starts flirting or dropping hints. The bottom line is this: chrono-fractionation is a great technique for new and would-be shoguns. That said, it's not all you need. You'll need more than just one technique to truly make a woman commit her entire life to you. Otherwise, the hypnotic effect will fade, and she'll lose interest, and you don't want that to happen. So, why stop with chrono-fractionation? Why not go all the way and learn the full fractionation technique itself? In a moment, you can. At the end of this video, a link will come up. It'll take you to a special online masterclass on fractionation. It's hosted by our brothers inside the Shogun Method community, so you'll know it's legit. So when you see the link, click it right away. Go ahead, do it now. If you don't see the link, find it in the pinned comment below, or go straight to this site, fractionationhypnosis.com. See you at the masterclass.